Welcome, everybody. We're here live, under the mat radio. We're here for the first time in 2 years. We're here live, under the mat radio. We're here for the first time in 2 years. Bula Bula. 2 years that we're here live. Today's date is January the 9th, 2025, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, it's not the time you're going to be watching us. I'm your host, Tech. We got my man Toph right there, Christopher Apps. Don't call him by his government. Call him Toph. You barely see him. And some people call him Trevor. Shout out to my buddy Hannibal Lever that calls him Trevor. We got Saltine on the top right. Saltine there on the top right. To the bottom of me, we got Exoskeleton. And then the bottom right in the corner, we got the trader, the man DR. He left Maryland, went to Pennsylvania. We all love him still. Want to give a shout out to two people that's missing. To shout out the Afrocentric Queenie, who's missing. She's taking care of some personal obligations right now. We love you much. We miss you, Queenie. Shout out to LSR, Light Skin Ross. Shout out to you and your family. He got like a whole tribe now. He got two bloodlines right now. And his little wife. What's going on with that? Shout out to the Chuckster and shout out to Ritzy and Biggie. They could not join us today, but we're here. The first show in 2 years that we got weekly. This will be a weekly episode. We got a lot to talk about. We're talking about the year previously of 2024 into the year 2025. So what I'm gonna do first is start out with Toph, then Saltine, then Axel, then DR. So everybody, your opening statement and tell them how to reach you on social media before we get started.
Yeah, my Twitter is Toph knows best. I don't really use Twitter like that, but I go on there sometimes and post memes and stuff. But Toph knows best, which was a joke from Hogan knows best, which he clearly doesn't for obvious reasons, brother. Anyway,
All right. Well, I got like a little social media shout out. My social media for Twitter is Saltine MMEH. My IG is Saltine the Moneymaker 05, so it's long. And yeah, I made TikTok, but that's going down soon. So hell, I made for something cool. So it's Saltine the Moneymaker 05 as well.
What's going on, folks? My name is Exoskeleton, Mr. EXO. You can reach me on Instagram, exo_skeleton. You can reach me on Facebook, ex.silent.organizer. That's elaborate as shit. And you can also reach me on Twitter, Exoskeleton. And if you cannot spell that, Google that shit. There we go.
All right, everybody. It's BR here. Y'all can reach me on TikTok at Nick Reed, and I do not remember my Twitter handle, so please forgive me. But yeah, most of the time I'm on TikTok, so that's where you can catch me at.
Definitely love everything. Thank you guys for joining in. We give shout outs to our great staff that can't make us. But we gotta give our flowers. It's the year 2025. We haven't been on air weekly since 2023. But I want to give a shout out to our man, our editor, supporter, EXO. Getting won some awards and definitely give him his flowers. So we give you about a minute. EXO, tell us what you have won and the great contributions you've done in the world of art, in the world of fame, in the world of media. Let us know what you want.
Oh man, so Jesus Christ. It's been a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I have been fucking busy. So last year was I redesigns did a lot. I've been doing a whole lot as far as in my business, being an entrepreneur and things of that nature. So I helped someone sort of help them with their own shoe. So they have their own shoe. I designed that shoe for them. I did album covers. I 3D printed over 100 masquerade ball for a wedding party all the way out in Las Vegas, and I hand delivered that shit. That was fucking beautiful. Yeah, that was dope as shit. And I won Graphic Designer of the Year at the Baltimore Crown Awards. This is my second trophy. So, and hopefully in March. So I'm actually dropping the news. I'm dropping the news super early, but this is the first. So sometime in March, I will be releasing my own clothing line. I've been helping a lot of people start their own clothing line. I'm actually doing my own. The name of my clothing line is called The Dreamers of the Dream. Um, it's something that I heard. I am a fan of Willy Wonka, and it was something that I heard on that. Something that he said to the young lady, and for some reason, the dreamers of the dream interpreted me being the creative person, have the ability to take your dreams, manifest them, bring them to life. Chasing your dream, accomplishing whatever the unthinkable, all that good shit. So I took that whole concept and I'm starting my own clothing line. I will be previewing 2 pieces from my collection, and hopefully by March, the website right now currently is just going to be POD, online only for the time being until I gain some traction, and then the idea is to actually have my own physical store. So, but right now currently is online. So hopefully in March everything will be ready. So yes, I have a lot of stuff going on.
Proud of you, brother.
Thank you, thank you,
And
thank you. I
forward you
appreciate it,
the
man.
one and stuff going forward. Definitely so. Toph, Saltine, DR, any accolades that you had, since we've been on the show that you want to talk about?
I'll go. Well, I've been through a journey, and as y'all know, I've been away for a long time and everything, and I'm suddenly coming back slowly. I've been to rehab. I was going to do alcohol, and I was addicted to painkillers, so I was going through hell and everything. So now I am 5 years sober. 5 years sober. And now it's going on 6 on the 23rd of January. So that's been a successful defeat for me. And I'm glad I'm still here. I'm glad I'm still fighting. I'm thank you. I'm thank you. I'm thank God out here. I'm thank y'all for being
Fucking
here.
proud of you, bro. Real
It,
shit.
it means a lot. It really has.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. Congratulations. So
Thank
that's
you.
interesting that you mentioned that because I'm actually in school right now for psychology. And I made the dean's list once and the president's list twice. I just got that second one
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fall semester. So hopefully by August, I'll have my bachelor's degree in psychology and my daughter is distracting me. I'm sorry. I have I have my addiction and counseling license for substance abuse and alcohol abuse. Hopefully
Dope
sometime in
shit, bro.
August, September, sometime. So, I'm working towards it. My main goal is to have my master's so I can do marriage counseling and all that stuff. But baby steps. But I thank God He has allowed me to accomplish this stuff. It ain't easy, I'll tell you that. And I'm actually working on schoolwork right now. So
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
We'll let
Shit,
you,
good
Toph.
shit, good shit.
You muted, Toph.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, I was saying survived the hurricane, so there's that. That wasn't very fun. And about mm, about 2 years ago, Tech already knows. My mom was having some health issues, and the long story short of it is that unfortunately, she was diagnosed with kidney failure, and because of that, she had to be taken to the hospital. It's kind of touch and go for a bit there, but she's doing a lot better now, and she's on dialysis. She didn't want to do it, but it was an app. She had to adapt to it. Lifestyle change, food change, stuff like that. We got the whole transit thing going on. So they pick her up, which gave me some more time to myself. Started working at home, stuff like that. So I'm doing good. She's doing better. She's at home now. Things are back to normal. City's still in recovery. A lot of trees still down and all that, but still alive. So that's cool. Other than that, I'm doing good. I went to school years ago, so I'm not going back. I'm not going back to school. So no.
Those all great works. Great to hear from XO with your awards you've been doing. Saltine with your sobriety. What you dealing with shout out to Mama Salt. Toph with I knew personally with your mom and all you've been dealing with. DR. We're dealing with addiction and getting your degrees. My end, I would say for me is working on getting over that. I was a functional alcoholic. So XO knows, Saltine knows, Toph, you kind of know. Sorry, DR, you didn't know, but so my journey of getting past that, and I'm going to give a personal shout out to Darren Malibu from American Gladiators, who was a certified AA counselor, who's helped me through. So my growth over the past years of dealing with, I never was much for pills, but dealing with alcoholism, getting past that, working hard, getting past my neuropathy, where there was times when I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat, I had to get help to do all of that stuff, and I feel a lot stronger now. I'm definitely grateful to get to that point to where I'm able to talk and watch TV and be able to get some sleep. So all you guys and even Queenie and the Chuckster, LSR, and those that's not here that knows that was a big step. So I want people to understand that, whenever you listen to this has been
Like, man, real quick. See, he ain't gonna talk about this shit. This motherfucker, y'all probably don't know. Tech ass could draw his ass off. Okay, he's actually pretty fucking dope. This nigga been sending me pictures left and goddamn right. You ain't gonna sit up here and talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it, and I should. He don't share it, but he got actually draw. This boy got skills. He's pretty fucking good. And he used to tell me like, yeah, y'all know how to draw. I'm like, okay. I mean, people tell me shit all the time. And then he starts saying shit like, whoa, time out, wait a minute, he can fucking draw. That's crazy. So yeah, this
yeah,
guy,
you're
he
right.
can draw.
You're right. Yeah, I showed up more. One of my degrees is art in fine arts and drawing. So XO right, he did get on my ass about you need to show this and that, and I didn't draw for 15 years. I stopped, but through the inspiration of XO, and talking to all you guys and even the Queenie and helping her and she drawing more really helped me push through to start drawing more. So um those are some stuff that I've learned and I've got through in my life and it's even more. So just thankful to you guys, to LSR, to the Chucks, to the Queenie, to my wife, to my daughter Kayla, to my family, to my friends. I can name a whole bunch of people, but so people can understand that this show means a lot because this show now to the last show we did collectively has been 2 years. We've all been through stuff. I've had COVID 3 times, dealing with neuropathy. Saltine's dealt with stuff with Mama Salt, stuff he got going through. DR then had another kid, or 2 kids in the meantime. DR keep popping on kids like damn rabbits. So he got him and his wife. Boy, he say he done. XO, he done got awards and performed in Toph, dealing with Mama Salt and everything. Shout out to my man Ayo, which I think you Toph, Ayo, Allen. Shout out to you, brother. We love you much.
One more thing, my fault. It's February 27th. I will be helping somebody open up for KRS-One.
There you go. Yep, I was gonna mention that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
KRS-One. Shout out to my man
Yeah.
Brian Lyrics, which I know your little big head ass since she was like little. I can see that. To you. Shout out to Brian Lyrics, man. We love you. That's my excellent looking now. Little big head ass. But seriously,
Mm.
all of us as a family, we support everybody. LSR, shout out to you. You nigga got married. You got like 18 damn kids. Shout out to Camille. The Chuckster's doing well. He got his eye surgery. He's doing extremely well. Teabags. Shout out to my brother, Uncle Black. We know you, brother. He finally proposed. He's going to be married soon to Ashley. We love you much. I don't mention legal names, so I'm keeping it very discreet. But it's about damn time. It's about damn time. And Exo, you laugh. You know what I'm talking about. So do you, Saltine. So, with that being said, thank you guys for the shout out. Thank you guys for the support. Follow us Under the Mat Radio on YouTube, Under the Mat Radio, Instagram, IG, Under the Mat Radio, YouTube, Under the Mat Radio, all of that. Gotta give personal shout outs to shout out to my man David Hero. You know him, he was with the Pro Wrestling Report. He will be on our show very soon. Papa Hero's doing good. Kai's doing good. Our Snow's doing good. They send that love to them. We've done interviews specifically with Sean Oliver, as you know. Kayfabe commentaries. He does Click This with Kevin Nash each week. We did an interview with him. Check that out. We just posted our interview with Brian Zane for Wrestling with Regret. Wrestling with Regret, Stomp with a W. We did interviews with him. We have an interview coming up with Sheldon Leach, who was the director of Lionheart and so many other movies. Sam Furstenberg. So many great interviews we have coming up with Under the Mats Radio. Which is coming up soon. So we thank you guys for your support. So let's talk about this, guys. We're here live Under the Mat Radio. Let's get the elephant out the room. We're gonna switch up the format as we do. Hogan.
We coming for you. Sorry.
Hulk Hogan. My man came out the Raw Netflix. We're gonna start this all talking about the Raw debut on Netflix. And our man Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, came on out and got booed out the building with our friend Jimmy Hart, who was a friend of the show. We spoke to, got booed out the building. So I'm gonna start off with Toe first, Axel next, Saltine, and then DR before me. Give me your thoughts of Hogan getting booed and your reasons why you think he's getting so much backlash and what's happening. Go ahead, Toph.
Saltine starting first? Oh, me?
Nah. Toph, you, then Axel, then Saltine, then DR.
He's a piece of shit. Simple as that. You know, this has been a long time coming. It's all added up. You know? My mom, I did the other day, my mom, she was watching it. She was like, honey, did Hogan turn heel? Thinking it's like 96. I'm like, I mean, I can't blame her. I mean, you got fucking Jeff Jarrett talking about, I'm going to be AEW champion, and, you know, fucking John Cena and The Rock and all these old people. Like it's like 97 all over again. But yeah, you know, Hogan's a piece of shit. It was, you know, what's weird? What's weird was like it was covered on national news. It was like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, like a bunch of like regular mainstream news, like Good Morning America, and they're like, oh, you know, it's because he's a Trump supporter. Like, no, it's because he's a piece of shit. You know, I think him being a Trump supporter was just the last straw, so to speak. Because you know, Taker's a Trump supporter, and he got cheered. Cody's a Trump supporter, he got cheered. So it's not Trump, you know. So people are throwing Trump under the bus, like, no, it's got nothing to do with that. You know, he's a liar. He's a politician. Wrestling fans just don't like him. And I think what I do blame Trump for is that you know, he showed up at those Trump rallies, right? I think one of those rallies was in Madison Square Garden. A lot of people there, right? So I think when he went to the Trump rally, it may have put Hogan and WWE like in a false sense of security. Like, oh, okay, he can be in front of people, and they weren't like, you know, but it's like, but political rallies and wrestling crowds are two different animals, you know. Just because they are quiet and respectful at a political rally, doesn't mean wrestling crowds are going to be the same. And I saw some people say, "Oh, well, California is liberal. If it was in any other state, they would have cheered him." Like, no, like they were in Florida at WrestleMania 37 with Titus O'Neil. That's Hogan's home, and they booed him out the building. And it doesn't matter. But case in point, because I don't want to eat up too much time. I think the one narrative for certain, in all seriousness, the one narrative that is definitely dead now is there's been a narrative that Hogan hate is an online thing. Like, oh, that's just on Twitter. That's just on the internet. Oh, wrestling fans in actual real life, they're not going to boo Hogan. I think we can put that to bed now. That it's very, very real. And he killed his legacy. It is what it is, bro. The modern wrestling fan does not care about Hulk Hogan. Basically it.
Yeah, no, fuck him. Real shit. Like, no, yo, that had to been the funniest shit. Yo, it was so horrible. It was so horrible. I shit you not. When me and my lady first found out, shout out to Lady V. When she first thing she said, now, why would you do something so stupid? I'm like, yeah, that's a real idea, man. And then as soon as it came out, boo, I'm like, oh man, that is not good. And it was deafening. Like, it was more than Dominic Mysterio heat. Like, that shit was nuclear. Those wasn't fed in sound effects. That was 100% hate. We hate you, nigga. Like, they hate his ass. And again, like everybody been saying, oh, Undertaker's a Trump supporter, but they didn't do Undertaker. It has nothing to do with him being a Trump supporter. It has everything to do with Hulk Hogan being a racist piece of shit. That's all, and that's it. Like, you're a womanizer, you're a backstabbing, narcissist piece of shit. Sorry, Jimmy. I know you love that guy, but your friend's a snake, yo. Point blank.
Wow, what can I say? I was laughing my ass off. I said it was a beautiful thing. And you know why? He's just a piece of trash. Always been since I was a child. A lot of stories about him. Macho Man was talking about him, how he just a little bitch behind the scene. Like every Jesse Ventura, how Jesse Ventura was trying to do a union. And then Hogan was the one who stopped it because he told Vince McMahon about it. So it was just like, yeah, I'm glad you got your due, and also his lies through the years, his politic behind the scenes, his constant lies on 700 Club, lying, and I say, bro, why are you freaking lying, man, dude? It's just like Hogan just dumb, man. It's just like he don't realize
Where
that
the
he
fuck the 700 Club come from? I hear that
bro,
shit so long.
yeah, interview, man. I was like, man, this is just so pathetic. It's just so pathetic, man. It's just like Hogan just really need to realize, yo, stop the delusion, man. Just stop it. Your time is up. It's over, man. Fucking asshole.
So you lied on the 700 Club.
Yeah, some of the stuff.
700 Club? That's insane. What? For what?
That is diabolical, boy.
Yeah,
He's got
because he keep
It's
changing
diabolical.
Andre the Giant of weight and stuff. It's like, bro, get the right weight for him. Like, bro, what the fuck?
That's what
Why you
happened.
He's
lying
got a
about this weight for?
That's what happened when you lie too much. You don't even know what lie is the truth because you done
Yeah.
lied
he's
so
got
much you keep changing it.
he's got main character syndrome. Like it's like a person that thinks everything's about them. Like stuff that has like nothing to do with you, and you somehow like find a way to make it about yourself. My favorite Hogan lie was he said that Elvis used to go and watch him wrestle, But like if you do the timeline of Hogan's career, by the time Hogan got made, Elvis was already dead. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like, did you collect the Dragon Balls and Elvis came back to like watch the match and he died again? Went back the other one.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Oh my god.
Dragon Balls. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he got what he deserved. He deserved not the and you advertising beer like, bro, all of them. Nobody drinks beer. Like, I don't drink at all, but most people don't drink beer, especially some alleged American beer that got 45% racism in it. Like, come on now, be for real. Be for real. Like, and nobody wanted to see him. I wanted to see Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston face when he came out there. That's somebody gotta find a video or a picture of their face when he came out there, because I know they like, what is he here for? Why is he here?
Hey, yo, I'm
And
sorry,
y'all.
yo, I'm snitching. Yo, Tech over that bitch smashing, yo. What the fuck?
Yeah, he hungry, man. I ain't speaking from me hungry.
Man, I ain't smashing for real. I'm sitting here trying to reallocate my keyboard.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. Right.
Making sure this all straight.
Yeah, mouth moving.
I was
shit like,
smashing. I was smashing earlier.
Keyboard
I'm
gotta
trying
be
to fix
straight.
this keyboard, make sure it's straight.
You trying to make sure you trying to get that
Definitely.
grease off that from that fried chicken. You got
Ain't no fried chicken here, brother.
I want you
I'm just
to
listening
have
to
some
y'all talk
General
about
Fried
Hogan.
Chicken.
Wow.
Hogan needs some fried chicken so he can save his life.
World.
Wow. Hogan.
So why do y'all think that Hogan is getting booed like this to this level?
because he's a liar. Nobody likes him. Everybody is tired of him. It's like you can only. It's like the Terminator. The Terminator came back like 14 times. No, everybody tired of the Terminator. We tired of seeing you. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
You, Ric Flair, Joe Biden, Donald Trump all need to go in a nursing home and live out the rest of your days in silence.
God damn. That's real. Nah,
I mean,
like,
that's the reality of it. They 70, 75, 80, 9,000 years old. Like, just go relax. Nobody cares about y'all in that sense of you don't contribute nothing to society. You don't contribute nothing to wrestling.
No.
Don't you just in the way at this
time,
point.
Right. Your time is over with. Like when Brock Lesnar came in the ring and told him, it's time to go home, old man.
Yeah, that's real. Yo, this is why I'm about to tell you, this is why Hulk Hogan was booed. Here's everything that Hulk Hogan is. He's a racist. He's a narcissist. He's a womanizer. He's a backstabber. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's a piece of shit. He's arrogant. Nigga really can't wrestle. He was only good in New Japan.
Yeah.
He's fucking garbage, in all honesty. The fucking song, I ain't even like the song, for real. The only time Hulk Hogan was good when he was Hollywood with Hulk Hogan. And even then, his fucking beard looked like a dirty-ass Beijing. His fucking movie suck ass. It can't act.
I give you that, but I gotta concur real quick on what Exodus said. I disagree with a
Get the
couple
grease
of
off the
things.
keyboard first.
Yeah, I got it. Ain't no grease on this keyboard. Ain't nothing but lights. Right now, shout out to Saltine and my business partner. Trying to get my pen real quick. So, here's the thing: is this? Well, Hogan, we gotta realize this.
He's a piece of shit.
He could be.
Ain't no could be in it. Ain't no could be in it. Yo, he fucked his best friend over something vicious. Nigga, like, yo, he's a fucking horrible person.
He did, and so did Triple H with China and Stephanie.
Yo.
And a lot of other people.
Yo.
So, like I say, I ain't discrediting that with Hogan. But in the business aspect, look at it like this. Like it or not, the biggest superstar in wrestling history is still Hogan.
That nigga got a bald head. Top of his head like a fucking
He,
Doesn't
he,
bug.
matter
he,
Come
anymore.
on, y'all.
he can have a bald head, but the biggest superstar in wrestling,
Fucking around like a fucking cool. He like a damn
I,
yokai
I,
of
I,
an anime.
I give you all that. But from who I talked to, and I ain't saying their names publicly, that didn't work with Hogan, wrestle with Hogan. We just seen them in pay-per-views, Saturday Night's Main Event, Raw, Nitro, pay-per-views, TNA. Never was an issue with Hogan being racist. He said what he said. He was wrong. That was over a decade. And I ain't giving him no qualms for that. I ain't giving him no slight for that. He was wrong for what he said. Even though he ended up being right about the dude, he still was wrong.
Don't hit me with
But
no butt, yo. Don't you
before
dare. Don't you dare, yo. What's wrong with you? I
as
just
his
told you not to do it.
before as his impact in the business, we can't deny
This
the
is true.
biggest
That's
We
true.
can
the
deny it. Doesn't matter
biggest
anymore, bro.
the
This is
biggest
true. There we go.
the biggest
That's
superstar and the biggest star in wrestling history is Hogan
Doesn't
because
matter.
Hogan.
He killed his
And
legacy,
I
bro.
know,
It's
I
over.
know,
Yeah.
no, I got you. I'm just saying in general, and I'm saying why WWE is still pushing this narrative. Because you gotta look at it overall. Hogan has saved wrestling twice.
But he
You
can't
got
save himself right now.
no, he can't. But then also too,
Like,
you gotta look at it like this. Hogan saved wrestling first with Hulkamania, yeah, brother, all that stuff. Vince McMahon Jr., Hulkamania, Rock and Wrestling, and then the NWO. He's the biggest star in wrestling history. Period. I put him over Austin. Austin's like 1A. However, what he said 10 years ago, and the fact for what I got from people within, and y'all know who, I'm not gonna say publicly, but y'all know off air who I just talked to, and people I got within and just said it. The fact that he's public now with Trump, and he's been pushing Trump, which ain't no surprise. That also adds to him getting booed, so he can't save himself. Not to also help the fact he had a TV show. Your wife cheated on you and had sex with your son's homeboy. Pause. Ill. Your daughter don't want nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? His movies ain't been
Because he
great. We
tried to
all knew
sleep
that,
with her.
huh?
I said because he tried to sleep with his daughter. That's
No,
insane.
no, yeah. That it didn't. Linda Hogan, his ex-wife, slept with his son's best friend.
Well, I think it's
See,
daughter.
see,
One of them. I
yeah.
His
think it's
daughter best friend,
daughter.
one of them, yeah. So
Yeah.
For me, what's about is that Hulk Hogan does not have any links to the modern day wrestling fan because right now, people who watch wrestling are, older millennials like ourselves, and you got like, the new blood, the Gen Zs. For the majority of us millennials, we already figured Hogan out. We already know the deal. We know about the politics. We know about the lion and all just the really egregious stuff that he's done. So we're not about that anymore. We don't care. And the Gen Zs who weren't there for the 80s, who weren't there for the Attitude Era, who weren't there for the Ruthless Aggression era, the Gen Zs who started watching when WWE turned PG, all they know Hogan for is, hey, it's that guy that said the N word, and Hulk Hogan and WWE like erased his existence for like 2, 3 years and then brought him back. So it's like, who's this dude for? Millennials don't want to see you. Gen Zs don't want to see you. The only people who really still respect them at this point are like the boomers that came before us, people who were like watching in like the 70s and 80s. And with respect, most of them are dead or they just don't watch anymore. Like they've quit and they just watch other stuff. So it's like this dude has absolutely no connection to the modern wrestling fan in 2025. Like The Rock and John Cena, like they're basically like one foot out the door. But like Rock does movies, Cena does movies and stuff. Tista does movies. Like all these wrestlers today, they do podcasts and do movies and TV shows. They have other links to connect to the modern fan. Hogan doesn't do any of that. There's no connection. There's no reason for them to care about him. So it is what it is. So Hulk
And,
Hogan and WWE, they need to realize that they don't give a fuck about him anymore. I'm sorry.
and,
He killed his own legacy. It's over.
and you got to look at it like this. It's no surprise. We all can't dispute how important Hogan was to the wrestling industry. Now, what he said 10 years ago against us, that was wrong. And the fact, the main thing now is, like Toph said, Hogan hasn't done anything since publicly but support Trump. So that's also going to be red flag because we got to remember it's no secret Triple H is a Trump supporter. So is Old Man Taker a Trump supporter. So is Kane a Trump supporter. You want me to keep going? Trump supporters. But they don't get the same pushback. You know why? Because they're in the public eye more. And the way they do it is okay, we support him, but it's not so much in your face. Hogan, he said what he said, he apologized, Hall of Fame stuff, he disappeared. And then next thing you know, we see him again, support Trump in your face. Like, right here, nigga. In your face. So we like, yo, like you done talked about us 10 years ago, and now you supporting Trump. And then, you got Trips and Taker and Kane and a whole bunch of other people that do support Trump, which that's their right. They do it in a different argument and they don't have that backlash of the past racism and racist comments. So that's why it goes. So yeah, that definitely goes by too. Hogan had lost all his fan base. They booed him out the crowd. Ain't nothing Hogan can do. You can love and hate The Rock all you want. People get mad at The Rock because he went to Hollywood, just like Captain 4K Cena did. But what this Captain 4Ks do? He had to apologize to The Rock because you doing the same damn shit. And now you gotta say, "Oh, my bad. I understand it now." You get what I mean? So with Hogan getting booed, you know that was gonna happen. And you in LA. That's a liberal art. And Hogan built LA. That was WWE territory.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah, that was part of their
Part of
territory.
that. And for
Yep.
them to boo him out the building, come on, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, you got also realize that some of the talent in the WWE are Republican too. They not telling you that, but they are, because you could, like, when they had the like section, some of the people, their favorite wrestler, that you could see like, oh, they Republican too and stuff. So you could see sneak down when they had the like thing, the like tab on Twitter. You could see their likes and see what they like, and I said, oh, really? So they Republican too. So yeah, some of the talent on roster are too.
It's
And,
Listen,
see,
I
Hulk
bet,
Hogan's a
I
clap
bet,
having Jezebel, and that's all there
yeah,
is to it, y'all.
absolutely.
I, I bet you if Linda McMahon would have walked out there, she would have got more chairs than Hulk Hogan.
oh
And
yeah, cause
Linda
she
is on the cabinet of Trump. So
remember she left.
Yo,
She
she's the
left. She
Secretary of Education.
Yeah, but
yeah,
remember TDR. She left the Secretary of Defense in Trump's first run,
Yeah, the small
and
business.
she
She was
came
there for
back.
small
I
business.
So
think
yeah,
the
but
most gnarly thing, he did was when that son of his got into that car crash all those years ago, and then the friend that was in the car with the son almost died, and then Hogan just threw that friend under the bus and said it was his fault, even though his son was the one driving the car. Like I think I
oh
was in
yeah,
college when that
yeah,
happened.
I forgot about
When I
that. Yeah,
read Yeah, when I read about that, I was like, wow, like what a piece of shit. Like this dude's like in a coma, can't even defend himself, and Hogan just threw him under the bus. After that, I was like, and also, I mean, this is just me. Like we all watched wrestling as kids, right? All of
right.
us did,
Mhm.
right? Like when I was a kid, and my dad used to take me to wrestling shows, and I'm sure you guys had similar experiences with this. When I was a kid, I understood, like before I figured out that wrestling was a work, I understood like at a very young age that most wrestlers were just extensions of their real life personalities. I knew that Macho Man was not a character. That's how he really was. I knew Ric Flair. I knew Ric Flair was not a character. That's who he was. I knew Warrior was not a character. That's who he was. It was like they took the real personalities and just dialed it to 11. But ever since I was a kid, the first time I saw Hulk Hogan, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and thank the big man upstairs, I was like, Daddy, I think this guy's fake. Well, why do you think that, son? I just think he is. I remember he was on what was the dude Tech? The talk show? He had all the wrestlers on it back then.
Richard Belger, Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, Arsenio Hall.
Thank you, Arsenio Hall. He was on the Arsenio Hall show, and Arsenio Hall asked Hulk Hogan. You can find it on YouTube. He asked Hulk Hogan, "Do you do steroids?" And Hogan said, "No." And then, like 3 months later, he went to court and was like, "Actually, yeah, I do steroids." Like, I always knew he was a liar.
Yeah,
I never bought it.
Well,
I never bought it. He was always a liar. I never bought it. I never bought the Hulkamania, eat your vitamins, say your prayers bullshit. The only time where I ever thought Hogan was real was when he was doing the Hollywood Hogan thing, when he was a heel in NWO. That's when it felt, that to me, that felt like the real self, you know?
And that's one of the few times adult grown ass men liked Hogan as Hollywood Hogan, because he was like, all right, we kind of like you. Because no grown ass man like the Hollywood, oh, brother. Oh, okay, shut up. Shut your mouth. Okay, man. It was all the kids and the women. We know that.
No.
Grown men, we liked Hogan when he was Hollywood, the NWOites, NWO. That's when we started liking him. He lost like 30 pounds and filming. That's when we started liking Hogan. He was the cool heel.
Yeah,
but
I remember my very first time asking my father, "Can I cuss?" He would say, "Why?" Like, "Because I want to say something." He was like, "Go ahead." I was like, "Dad, I think Hulk Hogan's bullshit." And he died. He fucking died. Why you say that? I just feel like when I said, "Dad, what comes out of Hulk Hogan's mouth sounds like bullshit." He just died laughing. Why you say that? I don't know. It doesn't sound genuine to me for some reason. Something about him doesn't seem right. And then a couple of weeks later, that's when he said, "Yeah, I do steroids." You lying piece of shit. I was fucking right, man.
Because regardless of Hogan now, you gotta look at the fan bases back then. We only had the Hulkamaniacs, the Warriors,
and a bunch of horny old ass women.
It was the Hulkamaniacs. We had the Stingers and the Warriors, right? So we knew Hulkamaniacs and the Warriors was big. We had the Stingers, and then of course you had the people, supporting the Horsemen and the Road Warriors. You knew Hogan was bullshit. When Hogan started hawking up, it's like, cool. Warrior, when he had the Warriors, we didn't know what the hell Warrior was talking about, because he was talking gibberish all the damn time. That was serious. That was some big stuff. But you go on to now, and shout out to AO. Shout out to AO, because you know him, Toph. He said Hogan got booed just like Captain Full Kid Cena got booed at One Night Stand. And that was a good, even though it's a different context, I was like, yeah, Hogan got seriously booed. He's going to get booed because you gotta remember Seinfeld. What's my man? Kramer.
Michael Richards.
Remember he made the remarks, the racism remarks years ago. He was able to get past that. Jerry Seinfeld himself had to come to him and say, look, you need to forgive yourself. You're past that. That was a mistake. So he was able to get past it. But because of, the wrestling business is totally different. Hogan can't get past 10 years ago. And now you're dealing with you being a very predominant Trump supporter. That's going to add fuel to the fire while everybody booing Hogan. Nobody in the business will be in the business now if it wasn't for Hogan. So you can't discredit what Hogan has done. But the sad thing is, on the flip side, because of the things he said and because of what he's doing now, everybody is like, yo, we don't want to see you. And it's LA where Hogan built LA. This ain't NWA. NWA was not a LA town. That's why they didn't do Hogan and Flair at WrestleMania. What was it? WrestleMania 8.
Excuse me, real quick. I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to throw this out there instead of sharing it. They just announced that they're going to do a Ghost of Tsushima anime. Boom.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go, breaking news.
Dope shit. Oh, that's going to be fucking awesome. All right, continue.
Yes.
Sorry.
DR, you awake? You holding your chin kind of hard. I know you. I got to my man DR. You know DR don't like Hogan.
Man, look.
He ain't got no arms no more. He ain't got no shoulders. I'm like, man, Hogan, he done had 28 back surgeries.
No,
Well,
it was 50. He said it was 50.
jeez.
It could have been that, but I know he had over 28
No,
for
you
a
keep
fact.
you keep changing the
Yeah,
numbers. He don't even know.
Whatever it is, it's definitely over 28.
it's
He
just
can't feel, he legit
mm,
can't feel from his waist down is effed up.
He,
I
the
can
he
tell
only
you.
way to save Hogan now is if like the fucking DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future was like brought in real life. You have to go back to like 1985 and like do a whole sequence of things. Just it's just too much, bro. The lying, the politicking, and I hadn't even mentioned how he sabotaged TNA. I still resent him and Bischoff for how they fucked up TNA to this
they
day,
destroyed
which is another story. It's too late, bro. Didn't he also talk about giving Kamala Harris a body slam? That's just weird. Why would
Yeah.
you want to body slam? It's weird, man. Weird behavior, bro.
I
You
mean,
know?
Kamala not ugly
He,
though. Bro. I mean,
he,
would you rather
he
him
has
do that to Kamala or Obama wife?
I
Hogan
think
has
I
no
think most I
story.
think most people that were talking shit about Kamala would like smash him behind closed doors.
Exactly, they mad.
Uh,
Cause I mean, let's be real here, cause we talking about it now. Let's be real. And we all black men. Two
Yeah.
out of three of us are married. Well, two out of three of us are legally married. Axel
Oh,
basically
hey.
is pseudo married.
wait,
Yeah.
Eric and
legally,
Toph.
15,
wait,
15 years.
wait, what? You
15
15
got
years.
some.
I
years.
got you, yo. That's why I said
15
pseudo
Wait,
married.
wait.
years.
You
I
said
got you.
legally married. What the fuck? You got some League of
No,
Shadows going
that's why I
on.
said no. That's why I said me and DR are the two that's legally married. Exo is
Uh,
pseudo married. You know why I said it. It's not
Right.
legal yet, but might as well be. Eric is still waiting for some feet, and Sophie waiting for some so
Yo!
beats. It's a so beats.
But wait,
wow.
Salt Mug was saying so foul used the way his butt broke down like piece of shit.
I can only say that. Look, Eric, ready? Eric gonna whip my ass if you see me.
His whole butt
So,
just broke down looking
so,
like
Toph is
Christ.
waiting for a Cincy bean. You know that, and Eric is waiting for some feet. Me and D all be good, and XO you see don't marry. You know that.
15 years.
15
15
years.
years.
So
15.
let's be real about this. You got Kamala Harris, and you got Obama's wife, right? Who looks better? Which who would you smash or pass? Let's do that right now. Start with you, Toph. You in Georgia. You over
Hey,
there.
yo!
We got.
Oh, I
What type of
see what's going on
shit?
here. I see what's going on
My
here.
man
We
DR
got
like, yeah, hey,
we
DR
gotta
left.
Y'all gotta-
I see what's going on here. We gotta
I
make
said, yeah,
Georgia the sac.
I'm accident.
We gotta make Georgia the sacrificial lamb. No, I've seen every horror
Michelle,
movie. I'm not
Michelle,
dying first. You go first,
Michelle.
Ted.
You want me to go first? It's Camilla.
You go first.
Real quick, Kamala. Straight on up. I done told my wife. She already know.
Yo,
Kamala.
shit.
Straight on up. But did DR leave the chat? Wait, did he didn't
He's fucking gone. Oh my god.
Who we just killed? There you
DR
go.
left. It's like, that's
DR
it.
left.
That's it.
All right, Kamala. There you go. All right, so if your turn. See, you want to throw it to me.
I would actually pick Michelle.
Okay. XO.
Do you know why?
Yeah. Explain why.
I picked Michelle because Michelle Obama did the one thing that I've never seen a first lady do before. When Obama was nice. Every time Obama made an appearance, or what do you call those little things like the State of the Union? Like where you all that. Every time they ever did like a big speech or something, every time Michelle ever showed up on TV, she had that like I just got some good dick smile. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I would
That's
have never looked
hilarious.
at it like that, but thank you, Toph.
Oh,
Oh my god.
All right, Axel,
Um,
Kamala or Michelle.
to be honest with you, they both could get it. That's just me. Like I am not picky or choosy, but if one of them had to get it first, it would become Kamala. Like she looked like she got a good hit on her shoulders.
What do you mean by get hit on her shoulders?
Nigga.
Is she porn ready?
Yes. She
Oh,
looked
there you
like she
go.
got a good hit on her shoulders.
All right, there you go. You can't see that feet, all right, but there you go.
Hey,
Saltine, you gotta give
what?
it.
No, she right Tim's. Like
Yeah, she got. Now
she
you know
right Tim's, yo.
she wearing them butters and them sentiments. All
She
right, you
riding them
gotta watch out.
she fuck with her boots on.
Might
That's
be a
the
little rough, buddy. Buddy.
wait, wasn't she a lawyer at one point?
yeah.
Kamala wasn't they both?
Oh,
She was.
oh fuck.
Yeah, weren't they both lawyers? Or
Um,
was Kamala like district attorney or something like that?
I think she was district prosecutor. I think she was that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Let's
Michelle
say.
was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, Saltine, Kamala or Michelle?
Michelle, when she was younger, when she was, starting, when the person, she was classy, and I'll say Michelle, very classy woman.
But to this date, 2025.
Ugh.
Mm.
I mean, Kamala was better.
Let's see.
You go, almost a Kamala. There you go. You know, we talk about Randall. I don't know what the DR. We said that he just went
Go
ghost
straight left. That is fucking
straight left. Hopefully,
hilarious. That is
hopefully we
hilarious.
get you in trouble. Um, talk about Raw. Talk about old man Taker struggling to ride his damn bike.
It didn't look like it.
He was struggling, man. He barely
What?
moved that bike to the side. Rhea Ripley
Yeah,
defeated Liv Morgan.
I almost choked on my soda when Michael Cole called Michelle McCool a legend.
Damn.
I
That's
heard, I
hard.
did hear that. I did, and I
Can
was like,
we stop pretending that this mediocre chick was anything special just because she was riding Taker's cock? I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
God damn. There's a lot of hate behind those bars, son.
Yeah, I yeah, I always felt Michelle because she was okay, but not be called a legend. She hasn't been, everywhere. She just been in WWE. If you was in WWE, yeah, a little longer than you are now, I'm like, you're not a legend. You got to
Mich-
wrestle
Mi-
a little longer.
let,
Michelle
let's let's
McCool.
let's look at it. Let's look at this realistically. We know she's Undertaker's rib, right? That's a code name for her being his wife. Can you name top five Michelle McCool matches or moments? Because you struggle with one, or even two.
She's a ring
Let's
rat. That's what she is. She's a ring rat. I'm tired of people acting like she's not. I remember like
Damn.
it was it. She is, bro. She was. What was the dude's name? Tech. You got a better memory than me. She was with the Chuck Colombo dude. Remember? He remember his gimmick. He had a motorcycle too,
Oh
just
yeah,
like
Chuck
Taker.
Palumbo. Yeah, Chuck
Yeah.
Palumbo. Yep. At the
His
Billy
theme
and Chuck.
song was. Yeah, his theme song was "You Will Remember Me."
Yeah.
Ironically enough.
Yo, he had a little had a little SmackDown versus
Yeah,
Raw. Ah.
she was a random chick on Velocity. That's what she was. And all of a sudden she
Yo.
starts sucking. All of a sudden she starts sucking Taker's cock. All of a sudden she's Divas champion. Get the fuck out of here. No. And then what annoyed me even more was everything she did she stole from TNA because I was a big TNA fan. Her finisher was
Oh
the
yeah.
Styles Clash, but she called it the Faith Breaker. And when they asked her, "Hey, did you take your finish from AJ?" and she's like, "Who's AJ?" Like he created the move. It's literally called the Styles Crash. Okay, if you use the move, it's because you watched TNA and you were like, "Hey, this is a cool move. I'll do it." Or someone told her about it. "Hey, you got long legs. I think you can use this move." And then the Lay Cool thing was just a Beautiful People ripoff. Everything she did was just a rip off of TNA, and then she acted like she didn't know what it was. Like, whatever, bro. Whatever.
It's certain moves in the business you just know when a person invents it. When someone does a move, 9 times out of 10, it's called the Scorpion Death Lock. It's only called the sharpshooter in WWE Universe. The blockbuster, that's bust move. Nobody calls it nothing else but the blockbuster. Buffy Bagwell, old Buffy, shout out to Dusty, called him Buffy, invented that. The Kawada kick, that's the Kawada kicks. Everybody knows it because it's Kawada. Like Saltina said, the burning hammer, that's Kenta Kobashi. It's certain moves that the person invented it or made it famous. That's what you call it. The Shining Wizard, that's Muda.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be the Shining Wizard. So the styles clash. Not Kenny Omega, Osprey. Osprey does it regularly sometimes. It's always gonna be the styles clash because AJ invented it. You gotta
Or
give
like the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, Canadian Destroyer. That's
PD.
And I'm gonna say this too. Shout out to my man Petey Williams. It's called the Canadian Destroyer, but they don't say the man name. Like we know when somebody do a reverse DDT, the Scorpion Death Drop, that's Sting. The Scorpion, that's Sting. Or some circles they say the Sharpshooter Brett. Cool. The Kawada kicks, that's Kawada. The Styles Clash. The Blockbuster, that's Buff. The DDT, you're gonna think of Arn Anderson. Sometimes you may think, oh, you see a spine bust, you're gonna think of who? Arn Anderson, right?
You know what wrestlers should do?
Or you
They
do
should
the
start
Buff.
They should start trademarking finishing moves so they get paid every time someone does it. If Petey Williams did that, he'd be the richest man in the world. Everybody does the Destroyer now.
If you do a regular spine buster, that's on Anderson. If you do the little quick snap, that's Ron Simmons. Now, if you do the little curry thing, that's the Boss Man Slam. That's who invented it or made it popular. You get what I'm saying? The Rude Awakening, the Netbreaker. That's the Rude Awakening. That's Rick Rude. That's a basic movie. He made it famous. Petey Williams, they don't say, that's shut up, my man Don West recipes. Oh, look at that. It's like Canadian Destroyer. When he hit that move, no one fucking kicked out. It was death. But now AEW, you do 3 of them and people kicking out, but you lose by damn roll up.
Right.
What the hell going on?
Right.
WWE now, the women NXT, they doing like a brain buster on the apron. They get back in the ring by the count of 7, and they leaves by damn swinging that breaker. What the hell was going on? Like,
I'm kind of curious, like what Triple H thinks about his finish being a setup move, because the pedigree is just.
Be. and that's a perfect move. The pedigree is death, like the tombstone. You get hit in that, you should not kick out unless it's shout out to my man Comey. We had a rule we used to call it the WrestleMania rule. Only at WrestleMania or maybe SummerSlam, you get to kick out one finisher. When Tripp see that pedigree, or Jake do the DDT or the Tombstone by Taker, you don't kick out. But if it's WrestleMania or SummerSlam, okay, we give you one. Why are you kicking out? Why is the pedigree now all of a sudden a setup move? Why is the DDT a setup move? I was in middle school, and I remember seeing somebody in my middle school in the cafeteria get legit DDT'd in the cafeteria floor. Did he get up right after? No. He laid there for an hour until the paramedics came. And it was a fight over a bologna sandwich. I remember that vividly. And I got witnesses. If I text my man Brandon Briscoe, telling you, Brandon, I could text him now. And my man Steven Scott, I would text them right now, and they remember that. They were sitting right there. We heard that thud. If you kick out on 2 and then get up and do a Canadian Destroyer, I know we off topic, but it's under the map.
I DDT somebody on the concrete. They didn't get back up. So.
I didn't either. I DDT my man Tony Pyro right on the rock. That's how I won the championship in the neighborhood.
Oh no, he said that for a minute. I walked off. I don't know what happened that day. Wasn't my problem no more. Shit. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, I remember vividly in middle school. I was in the fight. My best friend, and she's a female. Her name is Jamie. I told my friend Jamie, lift that motherfucker up. So we 3D the shit out of this guy. I did. And she was built. I mean, she was built back then. I told her lift his ass up, and I 3D him on the hard ass art table. His ass was in pain. He could not get up. He was like, oh my god. He was just hurting, and my RT was like, damn. That was like, man, the shit we did in school.
I pump handle power slammed somebody on a mountain of snow. My brother jumped off at the top of the steps. He did the frogly splash, slammed the radar on. It was like the perfect tag team move, y'all. I picked his ass up, slammed. My brother come off the steps like, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Up. Listen, it is 9:30. I got to get up ash early in the morning. It's been a pleasure talking to everybody.
Awesome.
Michelle, hopefully my time frame would change where I can actually stay on a little bit more longer because I would love to, but I gotta go. So see y'all guys later. I'll be the same.
DR's good. He had to hear the kids and all.
Yeah.
Take care of some stuff. His daughter was distracted and he had to take care of some stuff. But Exo, no, you gotta go. Me, Toph, and Saltine will finish up the show very quickly, and then you gotta get up early. It's all good. So with that, fans, DR didn't take care of family. Exo gotta get up for work. As far as wrestling moves and stuff that used to be finishes and now setup moves, I totally do agree with that. So let's switch things up real quick. I know we'll go back to Raw really quickly on Netflix to debut. Saltine and Toph, tell me who is your top heel and your top baby face of 2024?
I'll go first, Toph. I say top face. I would have put Gunther for the heel, but to me, he's going to the face role. I feel he's gonna be a big hit and stuff with his face because his change of characters all suddenly became a face. And top heel, I have a feeling we doing 1-on-1, right? We doing one heel, one face, right?
Yeah, you can do an honorable mention if you need to.
All right. Another heel that I've been looking at is what's his name? Kaiser. He looked like he's gonna be something a little bit soon because they trying to get him up there, and I hope he gets up there because he looked like a promising guy to be like an IC champion one day. Like he got the charisma, he got the arrogance, and so I said, yeah, he could work it out. But honorable mention I'm looking at for the top face, and I've been really into her a lot lately is Harley Cameron. She's fucking hilarious. I think she's way out of there in AEW because she's entertaining. I'm doing something different because I don't want to say the same people we know it's gonna be the face of here, but Harley Cameron is like really, getting there. And I say, she's funny, so she has a card and she's really different.
Okay. So your top face with 2024 is who?
Gunther.
All right. Top face?
Yeah, face.
All right, top heel.
Here, I'm gonna give it to Ludwig Kaiser. I'm looking at him like they trying to get him out there more. So yeah. But honorable mention, I'm really looking forward to as a face is Harley Cameron because she's likable. She's likable and she's comedic. So she can be something for AEW. I hope, for goodness sakes. They need to take advantage of it.
Okay. What about you, Toph? Top face and heel of 2024.
I'll give the top heel to Drew McIntyre for his troll work. When he took the picture with Jack Perry and he had to delete it, that was hilarious to me. The little jab he took at Sheamus at the beginning where he was like, burger after burger. That was funny. So yeah, I'll give Drew top heel. Top face, I'm going to go with Timeless Tony Storm. Probably the funniest character I've seen in a long time. Really into the character, the presentation, the mannerisms. the black and white, the vignettes, just she totally lived that character. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great addition.
Right.
I definitely loved it.
Yeah. I mean, fans, I wanted to be different because instead of saying the same like Toph and possibly Tech would say, so I'm trying to go different with it. You know what I mean? So I know Tech would like that. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, for top face and heel, I'm gonna say the top face overall, and see what I do, and I push everybody because it's other radio shows, podcasts that do this, and I try to tell people to look abroad. We have fans that are strictly WWE all day, AEW all day. It's like, yo, look at the whole scape of wrestling, the whole scope, WWE, AEW at least, just them
Right.
two. We understand if you may not be able to catch NWA, MOW, New Japan, but
TNA.
far as TNA, far as the best face, for 2024, by default, I give to Cody. Um, because of the prominence and just the way they built them and just who he is. Cody was weird this last year because he was the biggest face, but yet we know eventually he's going to turn heel. We just know he's a face, but he's boring. Not a he's a boring face. Like we get why he is, but you get what I mean. He's boring. At some point, it's like, all right, we need you to switch up. We get it. We know the story. And Toph is yawning, so we understand that. So,
Because it's
um,
Cody.
yeah, it's Cody, right? So we love Cody, and don't get me wrong, I met Cody, met Brandy, great people. But he was like Cena in '06, '07, '08. He's the face, we get it, but it's boring as hell. Like, just turn heel. Well, this you need some kind of edge.
Yeah.
Now, best heel, my honorable mention is Christian.
Yeah.
Christian and TNA did some great work. People, if you haven't realized it, the turtleneck, the mock turtleneck that we ain't seen since Shane McMahon when WWE bought WCW, the
Yeah.
mock turtleneck, the I'm your daddy kind of stuff, the I'm your father.
EW. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff.
TNA. He did good work at there, but you meant AEW.
Yeah, AW. Yeah, the stuff Christian did in 04, in 2024 was amazing. But like Tove said, the best heel of 2024 is Drew.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
psychopath, the feud with Punky, the matches he had. Now, even going into 2025, where he's like, I'm going to get rid of the original bloodline, which we know the elephant in the room, which people won't talk about, is he's going to eventually going to have to go against Reigns because he's going after all of their original bloodline because they did cost him the title. So, um, this is my best heel.
Right. And what's interesting when I said Gunther as the face, like half the year he was heel, and then later on during the year he became face and more
That's
like
true.
I started to be likable. I said, he's pretty likable as a face. Like he could talk on the mic and be like, he could talk as a heel, but as a face he could talk like I could hear too, like, oh, I'm giving you the title shot. I was like, this is interesting. I want to see where this go with Gunther, and that made me
Yeah.
pick Gunther.
No, you're right. Gunther is up there too, and what you said as well on the female aspect. Tony Storm was amazing last year.
Yeah.
Her, I mean, I know Cornette isn't a big fan of hers, but the whole time this Tony Storm, the way she was doing the media scrums, her story, her character, I actually love it. I still love it to this day.
Right.
So she definitely stood out over everybody.
Right.
I can tell you who I would pick for like worst heel of the year. Just the Judgment Day in general. Awful, awful,
Yeah,
awful.
Yeah, they was
There's
mixed
a
up.
that's a good
there's
point.
a
Yeah,
there's a joke I have at my job. We call Finn Balor Pen Balor because that's all he does. He just takes pens. Just very repetitive, very boring. Because and here's the thing too, like because people want to. This is my first time talking about this with you guys.
Mhm.
People love like if you go especially like on Twitter, people like to call out TK for like bad booking or just egregious booking, you know. But then they just kind of don't say shit when Triple H does it. One of my main criticisms of Triple H's booking is if you pay attention, a lot of the stories on WWE television, he's just telling the same story. It's rinse and repeat. So you had like this tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And that was a story that they were telling like when Priest won Money in the Bank last summer. And then, when he was feuding with Rollins, he being Balor. So they were kind of doing this like, oh, is he going to cash in on, Balor? Is he not going to cash in? And then, he cashed in at Mania last year and all that. But that was the story they were telling for like well over a year. It blew off at SummerSlam. Balor turned on Priest and it led to Priest and Balor feuding and all that. And now, in this new incarnation of Judgment Day, just a few months later, they're telling the exact same story, except now it's Balor and Dom. And it's like, you just told that story. And then you had Damian Priest face Gunther again at Survivor Series. And you had Finn Balor interfere again, which costed Priest again. And now the feud is continuing again. It's like, it's almost been 2 years. And they're in the exact same spot. There's been no progress for like I remember like Dom is still over, like he's still like one of the more over heels in WWE, but it felt like Dom was progressing like in 2023. Now it feels like he's just like in a rut. He's just in the same spot because it's the same stuff. It's like Rhea, it's like okay, like let's move on to the next story.
Yeah.
But I didn't like anything that Judgment Day did. Just anytime I see him on TV, I turn the channel. Just very boring, very redundant. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like getting tired of the Judgment Day situation. They should just cut that out. I'm kind of like tired of the Carlito in Judgment Day. I thought that was kind of like don't make sense. I'm like, dude, why are you even in Judgment? You don't even fit the caliber to be a Judgment Day member. Honestly, like it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't think about Judgment Day honestly till you said it, Toph, and that's a good point. So now that you explained it, I was like, yeah, I didn't even think about any of that, and that's true. It's the same rinse and repeat formula that's going on. So definitely have to see that. Um, what is? I'm gonna start with Saltine on this, and then Toph. Your three top matches of 2024.
Mm, that's a good one. That's a tough one. That's so many matches. Of course, I'm gonna say the WrestleMania match. Even though it was I thought the Cody story finish. I thought that was an interesting story to finish. So I mean, it was the WrestleMania match was all over the place, but in a weird way, it was kind of like, oh wow, he actually finished the story because I thought he was gonna lose again. I was like, they gonna make him lose again because of the Rocket situation. Because that daggone press conference, I thought it was real. I thought, oh, like holy crap. And it brought passion in me, like, oh my God, is they actually getting back to what we needed to be, something real and effective? But looking at behind the scenes and how they play, I was like, oh damn it. But that was an interesting story. I was kind of like excited for that. The second match, oh my gosh, what else happened last year? You know what? Come back to me, so because it's like it's such a hard to even pick on.
All right, go ahead, Toph.
I like the match that Osprey had with Danielson. I think it was at Dynasty. That was a pretty cool match. I'm kind of drawing a blank on everything else right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were other great matches.
Okay. I'll give you my three. And Osprey and Danielson was like runner up. Number three, Osprey and Omega. The one with the Tiger Driver when it was.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the pay per view, but the one that Osprey said he wasn't going to do the Tiger Driver no more. Hangman and Swerve. Cage match.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
That was great. That was a great ending. And I think, and I'll say number one, and I'll parallel this. The
Hmm.
best match of the year, in my opinion, is the Hell in a Cell with Punky and Drew at Bad Blood, because Punky and Drew and Swerve and Hangman, I feel, were the two best feuds of 2024. Actually, Swerve and Hangman was feeding from the end of 23 into 24. Punky and Drew was all of 24. And I think that because, of course, it's WWE, the Hell in a Cell kind of eclipsed the Cage with Drew and Swerve, but they both had great stories because everything built up. Because they both had three matches. Punky and Drew, they had three matches consecutively in pay per views, where Swerve and Hangman, it was a little bit more time spread out between their three matches. But both stories made a lot of sense. And the cage match and Hell in a Cell was the combination at the end of the feud, and it told a great story. Now, some people say, oh, the cinder block and the syringe and all of that, they did what they did. It was done. And since that match, Hangman and Swerve, they didn't face each other then. They kind of went their separate ways. You get what I mean?
Right.
That was the end, and they moved on. Punky and Drew, at the Hell in a Cell, Punky and Drew didn't cross paths. They kind of went their separate ways. Drew decided, hey, I'm gonna get rid of the original bloodline. They made me lose the customer my title. And Punky went ahead to decide to deal with the real life issues he got with Sethy Boy, with Seth Rollins. So best match to me is Hell in a Cell,
Okay.
Drew and Punk. I have to
I,
say that.
I
Now
got it.
I don't know what y'all thoughts are on that, but I
Okay.
really enjoyed it.
Okay. I got mine. I forgot mine. It's Cody and Roman. It was Swerve and Brian Danielson. That was pretty like a passionate match because Brian Danielson had to win the title because he was going to quote unquote retire, but unfortunately, what happened? He lost the title to John Moxley, which was an odd choice to do, but hey. In the third match, I will pick in WWE because I was mostly watching WWE and stuff, keeping up with
Mhm.
that, and ADW. But I would say the Hell in a Cell. I would also say the Hell in a Cell with CM Punk and Drew because that was a feud that was going through the summer, and the way they would just hated each other. Well, Drew hated Punk for screwing them over. It was like, yeah, that was a great ending. So the Drew and CM Punk, Cody and Roman, and Swerve and Brian
Amen.
Daniels three.
There's something all right.
I'll give an honorable mention as Will Ospreay and Danielson.
That was a great match too. I had it on my honorable mentions too.
Yeah,
Go on, Soph, any thoughts? Anything you want to add on that?
Oh no, those are good ones. I'll give an honorable mention to Mariah May and Tony Storm.
of
That
course.
was a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
yeah.
That was a good long running story they were telling.
And I want to give a shout out too of Mercedes Monet, Sasha Banks. She really has redeemed herself. Like late 24 to now 25. The matches she's been having with Chris Statlander, and I can't remember who she had. Who did she go against before Chris Statlander?
Mm,
I'm
she
drawing a
faced she faced Anna Jay. She faced Sheeta,
yeah,
Britt
Sheeta.
Baker,
Yeah,
Willow.
when she when it started getting to like fall of 24, gotta give a shout out to Mercedes Monet. She really, I don't know if she had to step it up, if it was her opponents, because when she first debuted in AEW, it just was flat. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit. But once the fall hit, I don't know if it's she put more effort in. It was her opponents, just chemistry. She's doing amazing. And that last past matches she had with Britt, Chris Statlander, and with Sheeta,
Right.
amazing matches. Amazing matches. which I definitely will give her that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you forget that she's not even the women's world title. She has the secondary women's title. She's not even the main. She's not even the main women's title. She's like, what is TBS? Whatever you call it, TNT, TBS.
TBS.
TBS, yeah.
She has the secondary women's title, and a lot of times you forget. It's like, yo, you're not
Mm.
even the main women's champion right now, not yet.
Right.
So I definitely give props to her. Y'all got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, the only thing about Mercedes Monet is her attitude. If she would fix her attitude, fix how she act, I will give her. I will show her love. But you know, I'm for her about her matches, of course, no problem, because she worked her ass off. Later on during the year, like beginning, it was like whatever. But later on, as she progressed, she started to give like match based making matches. But as far as her attitude, that's the only thing I can't really stand is her attitude.
I can see that. What was he told?
I just think it's a bigger issue than that. I think it's larger than wrestling. I think that when a black chick knows their worth, it's problematic. But then if it's like a white chick, nobody says anything, you know? Like I love Toni Storm. She's great.
Right.
But she walked out in WWE too. She quit. And like nobody gave her the kind of time they gave Sasha and Naomi. I'm just saying. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you good point, Joe.
that's a good point. I forgot all about that till you said it.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
good
a good
point.
point. Yeah, but I will say she has, her right to walk out of WWE, and that's also true on that.
hmm
So let's call audible right now.
Sure.
What is the money match for AEW with Mercedes Monet? We'd already had her go against Brett. She'd have had great 2-3 matches with Statlander. What are you gonna do from here? Like who's the AEW Women's Champ?
it's Mariah May.
Mariah
Mariah
May.
May. So is Mariah May against Mercedes Monet? Is that a money match? Is it going to be Tony Storm winning the title and Sasha? In I'm saying Sasha Banks, but Mercedes Monet leading the CBS title to Statlander or somebody to like what's the end game here with that?
Mm.
For some reason, I think Athena and Mercedes would be a really good match. I feel
I
like they
keep
work
forgetting
together
about
really
her.
well.
I
Me
keep
too.
forgetting about Athena. Yeah,
Me too.
hmm
right. And what are they doing with Ring of Honor? Like that's the disappointment. Like you got these pay-per-views months every like 4 or 5 months.
hmm
You downloading Ring of Honor talent here and there on Dynamite and pay-per-views, but why can't Ring of Honor take? You don't need 2 shows. Just have a Dynamite, and then we know. I think Rampage is getting deleted, right? Rampage is getting canceled.
Yep.
Or was
It's
it
getting
Collision? No, Collision.
That's
Collision is
Rampage.
page.
Rampage. Rampage is getting deleted. Why can't Collision be a Ring of Honor only show and you focus on Rampage? You got all this talent, Matt Bennett, Taven,
Mike Tenay.
Shane Taylor, friend of the show. We've had him on the show multiple times. All these different people. Mark Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
You got all this RH talent. Why not have a RH show and have an AEW show? Or do you combine it? You can have RH against AEW, or
Right.
kind of have like a little mix of different talent that can help you grow. No one
Right.
watches Dark or Dark Elevation or Escalator, whatever you want to call it. No one
hmm
cares. No one watched Collision as it was, except for when Punky was on there.
No. Yeah, they kind of like screw up collection. After the Punk left, it kind of like gotten like, oh, we just gonna jump all these matches up together.
And
That's what.
nobody care about that.
Yeah.
Uh, Um, let's talk about moments of 2024. So when you think about 2024 in wrestling, what's some moments that just pop up in your head, good or
Mm.
bad? It could be matches, occurrences, instances, but what just
Okay.
comes to your head?
I got one. I got one. All right. Hangman and Swerve. That daggone feud was out of crazy. The fire thing when he put the fire or Swerve house. I wonder if that's even a house he purchased or anything. That was fucked up. I was like, damn. He just goes, just sit there, Hangman Page gonna sit there and let the damn house on fire. I was like, damn, that's gangster, yo. I thought that was the real moment, fun, crazy moment of 2024. I would say that's one that popped in my head. Taupe or Tech?
For me, the moment was really just Vince being canceled for good. Never thought I'd see the day. I know that's not like wrestling show oriented, but it's wrestling related, you know.
Right.
You know, the TKL deal, and then the Jeanette Grant thing shortly after being the final straw. To me, that's the moment.
Yeah. The WWE Network. Oof, that was surprising. Gone because of course Peacock took over the WWE stuff, but you know, seeing the WWE Network gone, I was like, well, damn, it's no more. And the only thing about WWE Network I didn't like was the edited music. I hate that. Like the edit music is just like, oh my god, can we just get the real music? Can you just ask the artist, go to us, say, hey, can we play the original music? I hate edit music. Some of them sound so bad. I said, oh my gosh, man, please. This is horrible.
No, I totally understand it. Y'all answers definitely a well. Moments. Was Vince being gone for good? Cody defeating Roman. My man Sting retiring finally. Great career. TNA and WWE actually being public or doing business together. I have that listed. The new Bloodline storyline with Roman and Solo. That was definitely something. And I know when I say the sofa's going to really perk up. Brian Danielson against Nigel McGuinness again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was really that meant a lot to me because I love that feud in RH.
Yeah, I like Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, that was my boy too back in original RH. Oh my goodness.
And I got their matches on DVD.
Yeah.
And you see that when they wrestled again, whatever it was, I don't know if it was a Dynamite or a Fight of the Fallen, whatever. You know, AW got all these random DLC pay-per-views.
If you're saying biggest moment, I liked it. I thought it was a big moment when Swerve won the AEW title. That was a cool moment.
Yep, that too. First African American world title winner, AEW. That was a big thing. Definitely so. So a lot of great stuff in 2024. For sure. Old man Taker struggling to ride his bike.
A moment.
What is going on? I mean, I love Taker. You know, Taker's my number 2 favorite. Is it me that he seemed like he was struggling hard to go around that little ring? I mean, Toph, you can go and talk about that, and then you.
That was like a bike. That was like a bike tricycle.
Right.
Rhea was walking faster than he was going.
Well, do you feel? And I'll combine this. Becky Lynch was backstage at Raw. She didn't show up. Stone Cold Steve Austin talks kind of died. He wasn't there. Do you feel like that Raw needed Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No.
Or Becky Lynch? Do you feel like it was already kind of oversaturated?
Yeah, it was oversaturated the way it was.
Yeah. The only thing I would have said was Stone Cold, and I think it should have been the right thing if TKO and Davo or WWE worked out. They should have worked out the deal with Stone Cold and put his beer as the main sponsor instead of Hogan. Hogan has, issue with the problem, the fans and stuff. That booing thing should have been like, did we make the right decision about that? And that should have been the question. But to me, I think they should have worked out a deal with Stone Cold for his beer, the IPA. And when I was drinking, I don't drink no more, people, but the IPA was good. I will say that.
Who cares about Hogan's beer?
Yeah.
Is it any good? Has anyone tried it?
I haven't tried it. I'm not really a beer person, but who tried Stone Cold's beer? Remember Stone Cold had a beer line?
Yeah, I did. That was tasty. It was tasty.
Now you got Hogan. More people that jump Prime than Bear. My
Listen,
nephew, my nephews drink Prime. I didn't even know Prime was Logan Paul's.
yeah.
Yep.
And so I tried it. I'm not a fan of it, but it's just I understand the business aspect of having Hogan show up because it's his beer. We had
Mhm.
to see how well it does. We don't know how well it does. Currently, then Fortnite is on the ring. I'm like, so eventually it's gonna be Fortnite, WWE character skins, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, CM
Yeah, they
Punk,
Yep.
have. They
Triple
have.
H.
Gotta make that money.
Then they had LeBron James last year, something like LeBron James or some Batista or somebody. They had some big star on there. Which makes sense. It does.
Right.
What was your thoughts on and Toph made a good point on this earlier when we talked. Seth Rollins and Punk, the main event. I thought the match kind of off some. The pacing was a little off. Toph did make some good points about Netflix not really they starting to understand the pace of live matches.
Right.
The match was just okay to me. I knew Punk was gonna win, but he just didn't do anything for me.
What, the Punk Rollins match in the end?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think Punk is he needs to get his stamina right.
Yeah, he looked blown
Um,
up.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was me.
Yeah. He looked
Mm, mm,
out of it.
yeah.
He looked it out of it, and I could tell. Oops.
He needs to just work on his cardio a little bit. You gotta give that to Seth. Seth is really good with his cardio. No Diddy. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, we'll go to Diddy next time. We'll go.
Yeah, we got
That's a
Diddy
show
next
in
week.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about Diddy next week.
Wow. That's another episode. Holy crap.
You get the Vaseline ready, boy.
Oh boy.
Pull him
Don't
up.
forget the baby oil. You got to. Oh gosh.
Uh,
Mhm.
what was your thoughts with old man Captain Four Kid Cena
Mm.
taking
I
like 20 minutes to say he going to enter into the Rumble?
To me, I guess it's gonna be his farewell. So I'm going to just give him a chance because I just want to see him do one more word life. Do the Thugonomics John Cena for one more time. Do it one more time. That's it. You don't have to do it no more. You come out. You can do it on a special SmackDown episode. I don't care. Just do Thugonomics. That was kind of like a fun era to do.
I would like to see that. So
Yeah.
I think he'll have a hard time calling spots in a Rumble. That's what I think.
Yeah.
now a lot of people thinking he gonna win the Rumble. That's what he's saying now. Do y'all see him winning the Rumble?
No.
No, I'm gonna think he's gonna be either the last three or two, probably. But I don't know if they're gonna give him the Rumble because they got like the younger people that want that spot. They gave Cody 2 times the Rumble. So John Cena, I don't know.
Thoughts on gray bearded Rock, old man Rock with the gray beard, taking forever
That
to
was
talk, to walk down the
that
ring.
yeah, that was basically his way. Like, here's the thing, man. That was just his way of telling us he's done without telling us he's done. Rock is a very prideful person. To this day, he still won't admit Black Adam flopped. It's like, bro, it flopped. It didn't make any money. Just call it a day, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't waste our time and set up feuds if you're not going to do it. Like when I watched the show, if you go back and watch, I don't know if y'all caught this. He came out and when he was coming down the ramp, he was like dapping up with fans and like
Yep.
shaking their hand. He was like doing like he was Bret Hart in like '93, and I'm watching. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you a heel? Why are you shaking fans' hands? And so as soon as I saw him do it, I was like, this dude's done. He's not wrestling.
Yeah.
So
He
Yeah.
got 2 more left in him. He got to do Rock and Cody. He got to do Rock and Reigns.
they hugged it out, bro, like it was fucking Barney the dinosaur. It's over. I love you.
Oh, shit.
You love me.
And you see the spot where he took the belt and everything, looked at it, and like it was like psychotic. He was just like looking at the belt, like I want this belt, and then he gave it back to Cody and everything. I think that was a sign too. Sometimes
And why do they keep promoting this people's champ belt? It don't matter. It has no lineage. It was a
Because of
gift.
his,
We
because of
don't
his
care.
ego. That's
We
why.
don't care.
feed the
It was
ego.
a gift. I mean, nothing against Muhammad Ali and his family. He's the greatest. But
Right.
I mean, the FTW belt means more than the people's champ belt.
Right.
The hardcore championship, the OG one, means more. The European championship. I'll even go there to say the Legends belt in TNA. They got renamed twice. Means
Wow.
more than the people's champ.
That's a little scale there.
The TV
Come on now,
champion.
like, what is the lineage? That belt at least had title defenses. And Booker T was speaking in that African, whatever that
Oh my gosh.
accent he was doing, that he was switch on straight nigga, like, oh, what do you mean? Oh,
Black
like,
snow.
yeah, black snow. Wow.
That shit was funny. Now we're gonna
What the hell you mean? Oh. We ain't got that with the people's champ.
nigga Booker T. I was like, yo.
Why did The Rock even get the belt?
Yeah.
Exactly. No answers. Exactly.
No,
He closed out the Hall of Fame ceremony last year. For what?
what was it? What's the point of it?
The
Okay.
Hall of Fame ceremony ended with a promo.
Mm-mm-mm.
For what?
Ego,
Exactly.
ego, man, ego. Gotta feed.
Oh, it's The Rock. Oh, he's the people's champ. Oh, shut your mouth. For what? Do you have any title defenses? No.
No, no.
And then he took 30 years to walk down to the ring to give Roman Reigns the I almost said wrong, the Uafala. You know what I'm saying?
Olafire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Yeah.
Why did he need to come out again? Why can't that be a backstage segment?
Ego, brother.
Why can't they do it like the SmackDown versus Raw games? It could be the backstage segment. They said The Rock show up, did the thing show up and just put it on his head. Taking all that damn long. His arms big. He can't move. He can't lift up by his ear. He's sweating. How you be out of breath trying to talk? I don't understand it.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
Thoughts on Gunther. Gunther, the world champion, was not even on Raw.
Mm.
But he's on Raw.
No, I'm saying he wasn't displayed on the debut.
He did a promo. That's it. But they
Yeah,
didn't
he
really.
was standing in the dark like LV in that Gangsta's Paradise
Yeah.
video in the closet.
Yeah. Like he was just promo. I'm like, damn, you didn't even have the world champion on Raw. But he
Toph's
was
trying
just.
not to laugh. Toph, you know LV was in the closet doing that Gangsta's Paradise video, breathing hard.
I, I
And
don't
any fans that's listening that's a little younger, look up Gangsta's Paradise.
know.
That's a throwback.
Coolio, Michelle Pfeiffer. LV is the big black bald man that's breathing hard, sitting in a hot ass closet, sitting there singing Gangsta's Paradise. And then you see his breath.
Oh my gosh.
Sat there the whole video. He ain't get no
Yeah, Michelle.
water, no napkins. He ain't get nothing.
That's a good segue. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. She was a baddie. I don't really go for white girls, but she's one of the few white girls that can get it.
Yeah.
Gangsta's Paradise or Batman Returns.
Mm.
No, I was just saying, Michelle Pfeiffer in general was a baddie.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
she is. But you know her looks a little inconsistent. So Michelle
Really?
Pfeiffer thinks.
I thought she looked the same.
Have you seen all of her movies? You
No,
haven't.
not
I
all of
have. Yeah, inconsistency.
them.
So that's why I said
Look,
Gangsta's Paradise or Batman Returns.
I mean, she looked the same to me in both of them. So, but I haven't seen either one in a while. So,
Go back and look at them. Let me know. I'll say Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer. Or What
yeah.
Lies Beneath, which was another good movie.
Yeah.
mm.
That was a good one. Wolf
Wait,
was good.
wasn't she in was it Casino or Godfather? One of
Was it?
them.
No, she was in Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah, Scarface.
Yeah.
What about her in Scarface?
That was young.
She was she was a little skinny. I liked it when she. To me, like it's the Miss Elizabeth thing. I liked Miss Elizabeth more in WCW when she gained a little bit of pounds. Because in
Yeah, I agree.
WWF, she was like really, really skinny, like a
Yeah,
twig.
she gained the pounds. They had the little highlights, the little blonde, the little Sugar Ray, the little blonde tips. Remember that was in the
Right.
90s? Yeah, shout out to Sugar Ray. Fans don't know who we're talking about. Shout out to them. What was that song, Eric? Sugar Ray?
Sugar Ray,
All Around the World.
all around the. I just want to fly,
I
fly,
Just Want to Fly. And
fly, just
what was
fly.
the other song?
Every morning.
Every Morning. There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
You know who they are, Toph? That was one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
your.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, we used to get into Zach and I used to get into like debates about. Well, you were in denial about Space Jam '96. Like, I don't know
Yeah, I
why you were
was.
tripping about that. Everybody knows Space Jam '96 is like goated soundtrack wise. One of the best soundtracks ever.
Soundtrack is not the best ever.
Mm.
R. Kelly screaming and crying. I believe I could fly.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Then
maybe
people
Mark.
in church.
maybe that part didn't age well. Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high, high, hit 'em low, hit
Hit
'em.
'em low, hit 'em
Yeah, hit him
low, hit
low.
'em
Yeah,
low.
but you know what? The 90s had great soundtracks. I will
Yeah.
give Space Jam
Right.
his credit. Boys in the
See,
Hood.
that's one of the reasons why movies are, and I guess I won't go too much into this. We can say this for next episode. That's
Sure.
one of the reasons why like movies are flopping now. Because back in the '90s, if you remember, like, and this is like real, like everything was connected. Like you had the soundtracks would advertise the movie, and the movie would advertise
Yeah.
the soundtrack, and
Yep.
then
Right.
the music video would advertise both. And it was
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
this holy circle of like just advertisements, but it's like you don't see that anymore. You
No.
don't see soundtracks in movies that like sell the movie. The movies don't sell the soundtrack, and no one gives a fuck about music videos anymore.
You
That's just
don't.
one of the reasons why like movies are just it's just dead. Everyone's just going to streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus and
Right.
Max and stuff. All
Tubi.
the A-list, yeah, all the A-listers are just doing streaming shit. Like no one's doing movies anymore. This shit's dying,
Right.
you know. So
We can talk about that next week about 90s soundtracks and movies. That's a good point, and that's
Yeah.
definitely true. That is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Alistair Black leaving AEW.
Mm. Mm.
Do you
That's
care, Toph? Do you think it makes a difference?
um, here's what I think is all I'm gonna say. Um, I think that, and this isn't a shot at him. This is really more so like in reference to fans. I think that fans out there they need to realize that some wrestlers are just going to be middle of the card, regardless of what company they're in. Not everybody's going to be a main eventer. Not everybody's going to be a top guy. Some people are just going to be a solid hand. Andrade was with AEW for a bit, and I saw so many people talking about, oh, TK's not using him right. What's he doing? He's too talented. He's wasting away. Oh, Andrade, come back home. Then he goes back to WWE, and I like Andrade, but with all due respect, he's in WWE, and he's in the same exact spot, and that's
Yeah.
okay because Andrade's a mid carder, and that's fine. So I just think that some of these fans they need to kind of lower their expectations when these wrestlers make a jump because when you have these talent pools that are just so loaded, and again, like I'm not trying to disrespect them. It's one thing to be a world champion like on a smaller federation, like say a TNA or an MLW or a developmental type brand like NXT. But when you're like on national television, like a WWE or AEW, it's a totally different ball game. So regardless of whether Malachi Black stays in AEW or goes to WWE, I just think he's going to be middle of the card regardless. And I just think that fans need to kind of come to terms with that. I don't know if that anything I just said made sense, but yeah.
No, yeah, no, it makes sense. It does. Any thoughts on that, Saltine?
Yeah, to me, at the beginning, I think that was just a way to get Alistair back in AEW. Ever since then, his time in AEW, he really wasn't a factor. He was just there to fulfill matches to me. Like you can see him sometimes off and on, but at the beginning it was with he was having to feud with Cody and everything. So you see him with that situation, but he started less and less to be on the show. And then I remember he got injured for a while, and you didn't see him for a while. And then he was like sending out videos like, "Oh, I didn't get fired. I'm not asked for my release and everything." But in a weird way, it was probably coming true. Basically, like he was getting tired of, you know, not doing anything. They didn't have nothing for him. Then they ran him, brought him back and everything. Won the trio title. Then he was just off and on, but he didn't feel like he was a big factor in AEW. He was just there, and that's it. He was just a pet project, a toy to Tony Khan. And when he finished with it, he just said, "Hey, release." It's like the same circle with all the razzes he had.
Yeah, like a good utility player, like in baseball.
Right.
Somebody that's great
Mhm.
at what they do, but they just can fit in, whatever they need. Like I think Dutch Mantel or Buddy Dutch, shout out to him. Glad he's doing better. Health wise, he's a good hand. Meaning, somebody that's good to do. He could be main event, could be middle, could be beginning. Switch things up real quick for me in the show. Three favorite movies of 2024.
Nothing. They all sucked. This one, that was 2024 was one of the worst years for movies. Almost everything flopped. Madam Web flopped. Um, Craven flopped.
Wow.
Awful. And I saw Craven, man. Let me tell you how bad Craven was, dude. Craven made Batman and Robin look like the Godfather. Like
Oh
I'm
my
not even
god,
joking. That's how bad it was,
I heard it
bro.
was bad. I did.
It was bad. I think the only good movies was like Sonic 3, and that came like at the very end of the year. Like just that. Maybe
Okay,
there was another movie I'm forgetting about. Um,
I think
yeah.
the
Mhm.
genre that you're talking about, Toph, as far as superhero movies and all, yeah, it was a bad year. I have a few that are in the superhero genre that were really good. I don't know if you want to watch them, but I really enjoyed them. What about you, Saltine?
All right. I have like a best of 2024 movie. I watch because I was watching the Aliens collection movie, so I can understand the story. Now I understand the story. I would say Romanos was good. That's like between aliens and then like aliens and then Alien Romanov is like the part two of the areas. Like 1979 was the Alien first one, and then Romanov is like
So
the continued story.
it's in between Alien and Aliens 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Between
how like how Saw 10 is in between Saw 1 and 2.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's all over the place. Yeah, it's like one of those movies. Yep.
I haven't seen Romulus, but I did hear good review get mentions of that.
Yep.
Um, I will mention I don't know if Toph is into horror movies or body horror, but Demi Moore, The Substance
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that.
is an amazing movie. It's very it's going to get you. We have a term to say Billy gonna get you.
Right.
Yeah, the Substance is really great.
She won an award. I
She won
think
an award for that.
yep,
So
first time
that
ever.
that Heretic with
Right.
Hugh Grant was really great. Uh, that is about two, I want to say late teenagers, early adults. They're in the Mormon church and they go to a house and they try to, how the Mormon church do, Latter Day Saints go to spread the gospel and
Right.
they encounter Hugh Grant, who actually is very well versed in the Mormon church and into religion. And they go to his house, and that's all I'm going to say because a lot of stuff started going bad.
Hmm.
So, Heretic is really good. The Substance, Long Legs is really good as well with Nicolas Cage.
Hmm.
It was more so on like the Silence of the Lambs, Ask Seven type type movies. But as far as the superhero movies, like you
Mm.
said, so if I didn't bother to watch any of them because, like you said, a lot of them was trash.
Right.
Now this year they're doing a lot of sequels. Aren't they doing like Captain America with like Falcon, Anthony Mackie being Captain America now, and
They're supposed to, but it's not looking good. I know they've done like 5 different reshoots. Originally, it was supposed to be called New World Order, which is a way cooler name. But then they said that sounds too Illuminati-ish. That's literally what the PR team said. So they changed it from New World Order to Brave New World, which just doesn't
That
sound as
sounds weird.
good.
That sounds whack.
Yeah. Then there's already reports that they're going to be bringing back Chris Evans, which apparently is pissed off Anthony Mackie because it's like, well, that kind of undermines him being new Captain America. Um, I hope it's supposed to be good. I know Seth Rollins did some stuff with it. He seems to be unsure. I know he signed the NDA, but I know he did an interview with the Chris Van Vliet dude. Not sure if y'all follow him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, yeah. He was talking about like he did some like he shot his scenes for the movie like 2 years ago, but now he's talking about how his scenes may have been cut or something. So but yeah, that's supposed to come out in February. I think, as a matter of fact, I believe it comes out Valentine's Day. I believe I could be wrong.
Yeah,
So
somewhere around there.
yeah, and then the movie's supposed to have like the main antagonist is supposed to be like Red Hulk, and I'm confused because I'm like, wait a minute now, hold up, because Sam's character is just a regular dude with like the suit. Because Captain America had the super serum, so at least that would explain how he could fight like meta like people. Sam is not a meta. He's just a like literally. I know Red Hulk is like not as strong as like regular Hulk, but he's still Hulk though. So just one finger swipe should just one shot Sam. So that doesn't really make sense. But I hope it's supposed to be good. I hope it's good. But yeah, if you've been going down the rabbit hole, it's not looking good. Oh, and Blade is indefinitely canceled. It's over. So
Yeah.
They say it's over, man. It's over. Game over, man. Game over.
I'm looking up now, real quick. Um, I think the Gray Incredible Hulk is the strongest one.
He talks. Yeah, he talks.
I just want to make sure.
You know?
Oh, this is Perry, by the way. Perry just keeps like going on and off here. You want your TV time, Perry? Here, say hello. Yeah, there's Perry.
Oh, what's going on, Perry?
Hello, Perry.
Time now. You can come back.
All right, so it says here the Immortal Hulk is the strongest, outpaced nearly every other version of Bruce Banner. His strength was nearly unstoppable, and he gained power few other Hulks had mustered. How do you get to Immortal Hulk? I have no idea. That's something we can talk about next week when I do more research. So we'll talk about that as well next week. Because just going by me remembering, Greyhawk was stronger than all the other Hawks.
Right.
But we'll have to see. Now, I know fans, you're going to get on me. I did not watch Deadpool and Wolverine at all. I know that's on a lot of people's top 5, top 3, top 2 list of last year. I will watch it. Have you, Saltine and Toph, watched it? And what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it did what it's supposed to do. I wouldn't say it was good or bad. It was what it did. It did what it did. It was nostalgia. You saw Wolverine as the Wolverine we all know with the red and blue suit and everything. And like we was waiting for that for years. Like he did it on the Wolverine at the end of the Wolverine. I think it was a deleted scene that happened in the Wolverine when he opened up the suitcase in the yellow and blue suit and with the black, you already know the original suit from the cartoon. And they finally did it. It did what it did. So I was okay with it. I said, hey, this is what it is. But it made a lot of money, so that was like the biggest budget Deadpool right there. So they won that for Disney.
What about you, Toph? Did you see it? What was your thought?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was the weakest of the Deadpool movies, but it was still a good movie. kind of a low bar because all the other superhero movies just weren't good at all. I appreciate the fact that they at least kept it real. Like my favorite joke in the movie is, I'm sure everybody knows at this point, like very early on when he meets Wolverine, Deadpool's like, "Welcome to the MCU. You're coming in at a low point." So like at least they're acknowledging that like, yeah, it's kind of shit now. It's not really cool anymore. So that's cool. So, but the vibe of the movie to me was very like 2000s ish. It was basically like a love letter to like that 2000s era of like, you know, comic book stuff. So like if you watch like stuff like the X-Men movies, the Blade movies, Daredevil, you know, like if you like those early to mid 2000s, this is basically what it was. It was a love letter to like those. It felt more like that than an actual like MCU movie, if that makes sense. I mean, technically it is an MCU movie, but it didn't feel like an MCU movie at all. It felt like a Fox movie featuring MCU, if that makes sense. The only MCU tie-in was that I forgot what's it called. That I don't pay attention to those Disney Plus shows. It's like that Time Force. It's like a Time Force from like the Loki show or something like that.
Loki.
Yeah. But other than that, it was fine. It was a fine movie. You know, it was okay. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out because I haven't got around to it. I've seen all the other Marvel movies, but not that. Except for Madam Web, which I refuse to really watch.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Madam Web? This is how bad Madam Web is, and I must feel like did it on purpose. The worst part about Madam Web is you made Sydney Sweeney unattractive. What the fuck? They went out of their way to make her look unattractive. Why?
Yeah, why would you do that? Now we're on superheroes. Me and Saltine talked about this off air a week or so ago. So, your thoughts on the James Gunn Superman teaser, and us knowing what how the movie is coming up with the villain. So, if it's doing
I'm
a long pause.
I'm I don't really know. Um, James Gunn is a good director. Up to this point, though, he's a one-trick pony. Whether it's the newer Suicide Squad he did, or the Guardians movies, or even Peacemaker, his whole stitch is he's really good at writing misfit characters that begrudgingly kind of form a bond, and you know that's his thing. Superman doesn't do that. That's not Superman. So his writing style does not match what Superman's supposed to do. The trailer is okay. It wasn't like blow away, like, man, I gotta see this. But like it wasn't like, oh, this looks like garbage either. Just kind of like middle of the road, kind
Then
of.
it got your interest. You got your
Yeah.
interest real quick.
What's that?
It got your interest real quick, like for you to pay attention.
Right.
Yeah. I know the other thing too that he did that like also really turned me off was he's kind of gathering his eggs in a bucket without letting them hatch first because he's already like making a list of movies like oh we're going to be doing this and this. I'm just like, well, wait a minute, you're assuming that your first one's going to be a success, because if it's not a success, no one's going to really give a shit about these other movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
try focus one movie at a time. I got to be honest with you. I've had this conversation with some people before, and I know y'all going to relate to this. And this is something like a lot of content creators don't want to hear and fans don't want to hear. Honestly, I just think comic book stuff needs to take a break. That's what I think. It just needs to go away for a bit. It needs to go on a hiatus. It needs to go away for like at least, I'd say about at minimum 3 years.
Right.
Because if you just keep putting out content, no one's going to care anymore. Look at Star Wars.
Oh,
Star
God.
Wars is a dead
True.
brand now. Star Wars is a dead brand. Star Trek is a dead brand. No one cares about it anymore. It's
Yeah.
never been as dead as it is now. I remember when I was a kid, when there was like a new Star Wars book or a new movie or a new video game, it was like the world stopped. Everybody was talking about it. Now you get a new Star Wars show, nobody gives a shit. There's too much content. So I think they need to just go and just take a break. I wish them luck though, because isn't it supposed to come out this year, the Superman movie?
I think
Right.
so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2025.
Wow, man.
Right.
If he's gonna, my only thing I want to see is I would like to see a live action Brainiac. We've never seen that. That's
Nope, we
different.
haven't. We
Right.
haven't.
We saw in the game that he looks threatening, but not in the live action one. Not in the
Yeah.
live action. Like an
And
actual Brainiac, not like the old Superman movie. Because I don't know if that was Brainiac when they was doing Christopher Reeves with the robot and stuff, and I was like, oh gosh, is that Brainiac? Yeah, that was kind of like okay. But
and
was Star Wars. When you was talking about Star Wars, I'm highly disappointed in Star Wars because I am a huge fan of Star Wars. I read the books, I played the games, and I played everything. And I was having like a debate with somebody online, and they kept talking about how you felt with Star Wars. I just feel like they force a lot of things in Star Wars that is uncomfortable. Like, and I respect, the gay community, everything, but and I talk to even gay friends I had who is Star Wars fans. They even say like, why they keep putting a lot of gay characters and make that as the main objective. No. Talk about like the characters. We just want to know their stories. We don't want to know, okay, who's gay, who you kissing and everything.
yeah,
We look, we just want a story. We just want a story that makes sense.
That's
Not
that agenda stuff that
yeah,
Disney doubled down on, and it's
yeah,
coming back to bite them on the ass.
yeah.
I saw a report like about a week. No, it was about 2 weeks ago. I don't really follow Pixar like that. I've never really been a big Pixar fan, but apparently the next Pixar movie was supposed to have like a trans teacher or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
what?
and they just announced that they're going to be removing that. I'm sitting here just objectively as somebody who doesn't really watch Pixar. I'm like, wait a minute, this is marketed to kids. Like, why would kids need to know about that anyway? That's strange. Like, I don't have a son or a daughter, but if I was a parent and if I did have a child, that's kind of strange. Why are you trying to push this on children? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's just weird. Let nature play its course and let them grow up and just figure that out organically like the rest of us did. Like, why push that message on someone? So Disney's really weird, man. They're really weird.
Right.
Really weird.
They've been like that for years when we growing up. The Rescuers, you remember that editor? They was the porn thing, the poster in the Rescuers.
Hmm.
And in the life, I was watching a show called In the Life. It was on MP3 years ago. It was about the LGBT community and everything, about the different movies and different symbols and movies. They said in the Lion King, Rafiki was doing something, but if you was in the life and you will understand what's going on, and I say, really, I didn't get that. I was like, really? They was talking about Disney movies. I wish I could find that show
Hmm.
because I was watching. I was like, wow. I don't know if they still have it on YouTube because I remember watching it YouTube years ago. I don't even know if they even have it up no more.
yeah.
So if I
It's
find it, I'll let you know.
yeah. I don't know. YouTube. If you could try to look up like hidden messages within Disney movies,
Right.
sometimes they'll have that because it's a lot of different little small stuff that you see, like the Little Mermaid.
Right.
I had the original VHS with the castle. Basically, it was like a dick sitting straight on up,
Yup.
and then the preacher that married Ariel and I forgot his name.
Eric.
Eric, he was getting a Woody. He was getting hard.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So it's little
Yeah.
small stuff like the rest was it the rescues? The rescues down underwear.
Yeah,
It's
one
a
of them.
Mhm.
picture of when they're going down the river in the boat. You see a new lady.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all these little small things that
I think the main difference between social media has definitely social media is a blessing and
Mm-hmm.
it's a curse.
Right.
Like what we're doing right now, this is a blessing. This would not have been possible 30 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, but it's possible now. So like you can talk to people online, like how what we're doing, if you have
Mm-hmm.
similar interests. But it's also a curse because people just say like the craziest stuff that they would never say to your face. And
Right.
I feel like the big difference between I don't know what caused the change or like where it originates to, but it's like we went from you could watch a movie or a TV show And if you didn't like it, like 20 years, when I was a teenager, if something came out and you didn't like it, you just would say, hey, I don't like this movie because of whatever, whatever. I don't like this TV show because whatever, whatever. And you either agreed or you disagreed, and that was it. And then people just kept moving on. That was it. They kept it moving. But now it's like you can give a constructive criticism on why something isn't good. And instead of just like focusing on your point, like, oh, okay, you don't think the movie's good, you don't think the show's good, they ignore it and they just say, oh, well, you don't like the movie because you're a homophobe or because you're a bigot or you're an incel. Like the Little Mermaid with the Halle Bailey, the live action one, it just wasn't good. The choreography wasn't good, the singing wasn't good, the plot wasn't good, it just wasn't good. It was a hollow version of a classic that came out 20 years ago. It just wasn't a good movie, and it didn't make money either. It was a bad movie. It was just it wasn't. I don't give a fuck that they made Ariel black. I don't care. A mermaid is fictional. There are no such things as mermaids. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good movie. It flopped. But then if you go online, the rhetoric is, oh, you didn't like the movie because you're racist, because you don't like a black. It's like it's like, what are you talking about? No one cares. No one cares. She's black. People just, she could be fucking Asian for all we care. If it's a great movie, we'll compliment it. But it's not a good movie. But it's like they keep changing narrative. So it got to a point where it's like I don't even care anymore. Like I don't even go online and communicate with people anymore because you just get called bigots and phobes just for
you call names. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just like about Star Wars. I was talking about, no, I'm not saying. And I told people, look, I used to watch, and I'm going to say it right here, right now, and attack RNO, because I like to, explore my mind. I watched Queer as Folk, The L Word on Showtime. They were good shows back in the early 2000s. And they would actually make sense because The L Word had Pam Grier and everything. It's like they actually had characters you could understand, like, oh shit, cool. That was good shows back then. Now it's like when you putting out a point of view of something, you're like Toph say, you're homophobe, oh, you racist. No, I'm just saying. Because people are scared to say what they have to say now. No, we gonna speak up. If we don't like it, we don't like it. And it doesn't make sense to us. You know what I mean? And it's sickening right now. And I hate when people use cancel culture. That stuff is annoying. Woke this, woke that. That's annoying. Like, we didn't use those kind of words. When we say we didn't like the shit, we don't like the shit. Let it go, man.
I'll tell you a good example. This is the last thing I'll say about it.
What?
I feel very lucky and blessed to have grown up in the 90s and the 2000s. One of my favorite shows to watch growing up, and I know y'all remember, the original Justice League.
Yeah.
And the Black Green Lantern, John Stewart.
Right.
That character, John Stewart, would absolutely be butchered today if he was written. What's great about John Stewart was watching Justice League as a child. Obviously, John Stewart was black, but at no point in the entire show did they make it a point to tell you, the viewer, hey, he's black. You knew he's black. It didn't rub it in your face that he was black. He just was. He was a Green Lantern who just happened to be black. Your race and your gender and your political affiliation should not be your character. It can be a part of it, but it shouldn't be like the identity of your character. And it wasn't like they wrote John Stewart in a way where he's like, oh, he's way better than that Hal Jordan guy. Like, no, Hal Jordan was Green Lantern, just like John Stewart. Like, they were both Green Lantern. And I feel like if they did John Stewart today, they would absolutely just completely wokeify the character. They would rub down your face that he's black. They would probably make him bisexual. They would probably just have nothing but a bunch of racial undertones every single episode. Honestly, and I know people are like, you know what? DC has never done a live action John Stewart. I'm kind of afraid for them to do it now because I think they'll fuck it up. I don't want them to do Static Shock. I don't want them to do Black Lightning. They're just gonna fuck up these characters. I'd rather them just maintain. I would rather remember them for the cartoon versions I saw like 30 years ago, You know, that may be niche, but at least it's not going to fuck it up. I mean,
Or to get WB show, the CW show with Black Lightning that we got
that was
for
yeah,
a
it
few
was yeah,
years.
that was actually it was a good show, and you know the unfortunate part about that was that a lot of people slept on it because people just assumed it was shit because it was the CW, but it was actually pretty decent. It was all right. It was all right. It wasn't insulting or anything.
Right.
Yeah. We can definitely next week. We talked about discussing 90s soundtracks.
Right, definitely.
We could even get into superhero shows on TV, 80s and 90s that we definitely grew up with and we loved.
Right.
But definitely so. We went through Netflix, the Raw DB with Seth Boy and Punky, The Rock and his gray beard showing up, drinking tequila out in the open, Travis Scott being high, Old Man Cena being in the Rumble, Old Man Taker struggling with his bike, Rhea Ripley winning the title. Of course, Punk defeated Seth Rollins. It's not a spoiler alert. We talked about our top heels and faces of last year, our three favorite matches of last year in moments. Um, Hogan getting booed, why he was getting booed. Definitely so. No Stone Cold being on Raw. He probably could show up from what I'm getting word at Mania 41. So we definitely will see Aleister Black being done with AEW in our top three favorite movies. So definitely a great show that we had today. We thank XO and DR for joining us, and they had to leave because they have to go to work in the morning and get up hella early. We thank you, Toph, for being on here. Live with Saltine. Next week we'll be back 8 o'clock next Thursday. Talking about soundtracks of the 90s, superhero shows of the 80s and 90s, and updates in the wrestling world as well. But for as your host, Tech, for Saltine, for Toph, for the absent DR, for the absent XO, the absent Queenie, absent your Queen, for the absent Elisar, and the Chuckster and Ritzy. Thank you much for joining us for Under the Radio. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Thank you much. Love you much.